Welcome back to First Strike here at Sports Money, your final destination to get your pre-flop bets in for the UFC on Saturday. And we've got UFC Vegas 111. I've got MMA Jeff. We're back in the baby cage at the Apex. Jeff, happy new fight week. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to this. We're back to back in the baby cage. I'll tell you, last week we had a lot of submissions, which, we generally see the knockouts, but I was a little disappointed, like most, with the Bulgarian fight, but we got 11 fights. I think one of them has been canceled. Hopefully they try to find a way to make that one work and we get back to 12, but I'm looking forward to it. The baby cage always brings some violence. So let's go.
I think there's going to be some interesting fights on this card. It may be kind of low profile at this point, but the main card itself looks like it's loaded for bear. I think there's going to be some really great spots for us to get after. We're going to give you guys 3 bets this evening here. We've got Jeff giving out the Emmers Amil spot. I'm going to give out the Johns Marcos spot. That's going to be a prelim battle. And of course, we're going to do the UFC parlay. Jeff, not the best spot for us on sides last week, but we did cash a plus 123 on the parlay front there. Dumont Nascimento, how'd you do on Saturday?
Not too bad. We, obviously as we were live, the Davale fight, we saw that crazy line movement. So we jumped in the Davale side, got that at +1. I got it at plus 136. There was some 170s, 175s out there still, which was pretty crazy. Kawamba jumped in live and had a plus 280 on that one. And then I snagged the Nascimento by submission at plus 120. There was a bunch of others sprinkled in there, but it was a pretty solid week, and the parlay did not hurt.
You got to join us live on Saturdays. If you haven't done so already, you're just checking this out. We go live every Saturday. We go down every single fight. We watch them with you guys. We do some play-by-play calling, and we give you guys our pre-fight analysis and bets to get paid on. It was a banger for me. We had, got into this takedown and significant strike spots here. We've been successful with the latter. Another week with Wells takedowns at plus 300 was the max ceiling on that one. Had some Nascimento sub in round 2 at plus 500. We had the Allen car inside the distance plus 275, some Dumont live at plus 340. The big numbers are where it's at when we're watching these fights together live after capping them all week, but excited for this card. I think we have some spots to get paid. Thank you guys for joining. We're going to get into the battles. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, show some support. And as always, drop your best bets in the comments as we get into it. MMA Jeff's going to bring in Emmers Amil, opening up the card here for First Strike. Jeff, talk to us about your path to success.
Yeah, Mike, I'm excited. We got Emmers and Amil here. A featherweight battle between a 46th ranked Emmers and we got 57th ranked Amil. Both these fighters are in their mid-30s. This looks pretty comparable on paper. You've got the slight 4-inch reach advantage going to Emmers. This fight started out as Emmers being a giant favorite. It has since flip-flopped to Amil now being I don't say big favorite. He's a minus 145, I think, the last I looked. So there's a lot of steam coming in on the Amil side of things. Emmers has a lot of cage experience at 28-0, currently 1-0, currently on a 1-fight win streak with a first-round KO over Miranda in his last fight back in March, which he came out there like a man on fire and got the KO in round 1. You can't argue with that. Now, he is just 4-4 in the UFC. His last 3 fights ended by KOs in round 1. 2 of those, he was on the winning side of things. The first one of the 3 there, he ended up missing weight. So we'll see how his weight cut goes this week. And, ultimately, Emmers is a solid striker. He can wrestle if needed. I believe he was a wrestler at first and then came in and found out that the striking is a lot quicker than rolling around on the mat for 15 minutes. He has fought some solid opponents in the past. As I mentioned, he's 28 or 21-8 in his pro career. He fought some solid dudes. He was killing it in the LFA. He had a 3-0 record. He got a unanimous decision against at the time undefeated Corey Sandhagen. Now, the guy's fought some solid competition, so he is going to be a fierce competitor in the ring. You got Amil on the other side. He's 11-1 as a pro, coming off his first loss. Now, this was by KO in round 1 as well by Jose Delgado. Now, Jose Delgado is a solid fighter. I don't care what anybody says. That is not a bad loss for Amil, especially being his first one as a pro. he is a quick starter who will push forward. He's not afraid to take some shots, to give some shots, which makes me excited to see this fight. There's both these guys are competitors and they both are pretty heavy hitters. But either way, Amil, he's a solid wrestler as well. He's not the type of guy to sit on top or lay on top and look to just ride the rounds out. He's going to certainly look for ground and pound if he gets on top. He's going to show you some top pressure. Regardless, I see a lot of action in this fight. I think it's going to be exciting. I think Amil is ultimately going to be landing the more volume and the better strikes in this one. I'm going to roll with Amil minus 3.5. I snagged that at plus 115. Now, if you don't know about the minus 3.5, that means Amil's going to win each and every round. He's going to have a dominant performance, or he's going to finish him inside the distance or get a finish ultimately. So I'm going to roll with Amil minus 3.5. The guy, again, he's taking a lot of steam. I think it's a smart play to go this way as opposed to taking the minus 145s or whatever there are out there. Amil minus 3.5. Mike's going to roll us into the Johns Marcos fight. Mike, how are we getting paid in this one?
This is a fight breakdown for UFC Vegas 111. It's Miles Johns. It's Daniel Marcos. A couple things to note with this fight. First and foremost, it's a short notice call-in for Marcos. Johns was always expected to fight on this card. It was just a matter of finding the proper opponent. And Marcos, note the red hair. He's got that rooster thing going on up there. This is a big spot for a dog coming into this one with Miles Johns. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know that this is the right spot for a big favorite. We talked the other day, and I'm going to try to apply learn ed information here. We've talked several times on these live streams about these early prelim fights and these big favorites. And they're big favorites, but they don't necessarily cut the mustard. They end up finding themselves, shortcomings going to decision. And I think the breakdown for most of the public is wrong on this one. What I've heard a lot of is Johns comes out early and he gas tanks late. And we hear a ton about Marcos and what's he going to do? Well, if you stand there and punch with the guy, he'll get that center pop for you. And he's a leg kick type of guy. So there's no question about it. You don't want to certainly stay in the lane with this guy. You got to get creative. You got to get clever. Johns used to try to deliver the big bomb. He's got the power to knock somebody out at any given time. But the challenge is you're going to have to get in there and get ugly and take some leg kicks, which I think opens up Johns' wrestling abilities. Johns has been notorious to come out and start first round, right? So I think he comes out there and he does his thing. Now, the concern and what we're hearing from a lot of the public is, he goes out there and he gasses in the second and third round, but not so fast. We kind of see the same thing from Marcos. In fact, his round threes tend to be problematic. Go to that Castaneda spot there. He was getting popped. He did hurt, Castaneda at the end there, and that kind of saved him from getting popped. But he's a lower volume guy. And he wears a ton of damage. So ultimately, to me, I think this fight does go the distance, but I think a couple things have happened. John's a switch camp. He's worked on his cardio. And, arguably, he's going to go out there and win the first round. And if we see Marcos continue to do the same thing, that means his third round is in challenge. It gives me two spots here. Both these guys kind of newer to the fight spot of things. So who's going to be the real guy to get it done? Look, Marcos, he's got some wins under his belt, and you can certainly fall in love with that. But at the end of the day, he got controlled by Jackson. He could have lost that Yanez spot out there. He was getting control timed out. And at the end of the day, for me, I'm looking at this saying, here's a dog opportunity for us Johns. Lots of things going for him. One, he's changed camps. He's got, improved cardio. He's been a situation where you got to know if this guy's going to kick you on the legs, you're going to have to shoot some takedowns, which certainly makes the takedown props alive for this guy. And if we see Marcos can gas out in rounds one and or not gas out in round one, but lose round one, gasses out by round three, I think it's wrong. I think this is a good spot for us to get a price tag with a plus 156 on the dog. I'm not going to take a big favorite in a prelim where nobody has confidence in either side of this thing. The play is for me, Miles Johns to win at plus 156. Probably it's either a round three or a late decision prop, but I'm going to give me a shot with this dog. On paper, look at the numbers with these guys. There's really not much just differentiating the two of them. Yeah, a little bit more on the significant strike side for Marcos, but look at them takedowns and the defense that Miles Johns brings to the table. If you kick me in the leg a few times, I'm launching back. I'm shooting takedown. I'm trying to put you on your back. And I think that's what happens here for Johns to find a decision. Either way, plus 156, a great price tag. And we've got ourselves the parlay segment of First Strike. Again, cash last week, Jeff. Let's talk about how we're getting after this week's performance. Jeff, great job. Let's see if we can get the cash with these fights here. The parlay segment cashed at plus 123 last week. We got a doubleheader banger for you guys with this spot here. I'm going to kick it off. I'll talk about the first spot. Jeff will give you the second spot. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a plus 139. And you may or may not have heard there's a Bonfim situation going on with this fight. I'm not going to go to the main event. I'm going to save that in my back pocket for the live show. But I'm going to go to the Padilla Bonfim spot. Ishmael, look, he's fighting a guy that's an incredibly low volume guy and likes to move backwards. I don't think that's going to be showy at all. It's going to look like he'll try to sneak a couple spots, but Bonfim is aggressive. He can certainly go out there and punch. Padilla's more of the counter guy. That doesn't mean much in terms of being active, and that doesn't mean much in terms of the world of optics. I think Bonfim's likely to win this fight by decision. I think they both have the cardio to go deep, but I'm going to give me Ismail Bonfim to get the win as leg number one of the parlay, Jeff.
All right, I like the play. I'm going to roll with the Ricky Simon versus Barcelos fight. Ricky's coming in off a 2-fight win streak, which he broke the 3-fight losing streak, and he's 22-6. He's fighting a 20-5 guy who's also on a 3-fight win streak. However, Ricky's just a wild man out there. 33 years old. I think he's going to get this one done against a 38-year-old aging out fighter. I think Ricky's the play here. I think this one's fairly priced at minus 170. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with him in the second leg, giving us a plus 135. Let's go back to back.
Plus 139 is the latest number on the books for Bonfim and Simone. Make sure you recognize there's 2 Bonfims on this card. It's the undercard or the lesser. It's not the main event. It's the brother Bonfim and Simone to get the battle for you guys at plus 139. Appreciate everybody watching this program. Again, can't stress it enough. Appreciate the comments. We can love to talk about your best bets as we go live on Saturday. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, Jeff. Tell them what's happening. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at X and Winnable at MMA Jeff 19. As always, rolling around sports money. We have the live show Saturday kicking off at 3:45 Eastern, I believe, as Mike had said. Good luck, everybody, this week, and let's cash some bets.
Happy fight week to one and all. Appreciate you guys, again, joining the video. Follow me at PimpSlapPOD. If you haven't yet done so, subscribe to the Sports Money channel. Turn the notifications on. We're putting the community post out there, giving tons of live bets, giving tons of current bets, pre-flop bets, you name it. We're giving it out to you guys here at the Sports Money Network. One-stop shop. And on behalf of the whole Sports Money Network, thanks for you guys checking us out. We'll see you Saturday for Fight Week Vegas 111 at the Apex. Have a good night.